Good day, internet people.
Alfred.
Jack.
I beat that.
It's Mr. Merlin here.
Hello.
Yay! Everyone say hello to Mr. Merlin. Post in the comments below, hello.
Hey Merlin.
Hi.
And now he's got a deck profile of his Adel Rose deck.
Hang on. 1 sec. Alright, so so if you want to play the Adel Rose deck, what you need is about
that many.
No, wait. You need like there you go. That's about how many Adel Roses you need, then throw in 12 crits and you're good.
That's just the start. You need to build up as you go.
Haha. But no, seriously, it's a bit late, especially with the reboot literally now. But I mean, hey, it's a premium deck now. So, Dark Regulars, Darkness.
So, your triggers give you 10k? I don't think so.
Did they need to?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Outside of the VR, we're not going to...
Right then, so, starting Vanguard, we're using Waxstum Vampire. He's not as powerful as during Singular, but he's better in the long grindy matchups that we're expecting nowadays. So, yeah. DB1, Darkness, count +1, put him into Soul, and retire a Rearguard. And you choose up to 2 grade 1 or greater cards with the Darkness ability from your Soul, put them into your hand. So, with the grade 3 later, you can reuse him a lot, and it's all well and good. Triggers. We're using 4 Amon's Follower Obsidian. This is the G, when you use it for a G Guardian, you can bind it in a heal to counter charge or soul charge one. We use it because we have it, they don't need it. So, you can run Vincent as well, but I don't have the Vincent G Guard. We're running 5 critical triggers. We're using 1 Dark Knight because he's a free Darkness enabler that doesn't require me to soul charge, so I don't have to worry too much about deck out towards the end. And for One-Eyed Succubus, this is the Sharot crit trigger. We got the 1 SP. Very nice. Put into Soul when Sharot attacks plus 5k and a crit and draw a card. And 7 stand triggers. 7 stands. 3 Werecats or Recruit. He's Darkness plus 5,000 power or shield if you're DB1. It doesn't happen very often, but his other ability is when attack doesn't hit, you can put him into the Soul from the Guardian second.
And if you can't tell, he really loves cats.
And he's a kitty cat. I prefer him over...
You know there's a joke in there, but I'm not going to do it. Yeah.
Tisk tisk.
I didn't say anything.
Everyone in the comment section, shame Jack and his dirty mind.
Hey, I already said that was a joke and I'm not going to say.
Hashtag shame Jack.
Yep. So one thing you can do is you can guard for 10k, put him into Soul, and then the next one's a 15k shield. There's other ways you can get Soul in your opponent's battle phase, but not many. And then finally, the only trigger that is almost certainly going to survive the shift to premium is Monochrome Nightmare Land. It's dumb. GB1, you shuffle him back into the deck. And if you have 6 or more cards in Soul, first you soul charge 1. If your number of cards in Soul is 6 or more, you counter charge 1. And then if the number of cards in your Soul is 10 or more, you draw a card. It is dumb. Grade 1s. The cats continue. 4 copies of Were-Tiger Plunderer. Were-Tiger Plunderer is Darkness skill, so whenever a card is put into your Soul. During that turn, if you have Vanguard with Sharot in its card name, he gets plus 1,000 power for each card in Soul.
See, Luard's all about the birds. Sharot's all about them cats.
Yep. The cats continue with Were-Tiger Jaeger.
And please remember to hashtag shame Jack.
Hashtag shame Jack.
I didn't say anything, you're dirty minded ones here.
Let's make it trend, people.
Let's make it trend. So Were-Tiger Jaeger is almost certainly the card that has pushed Dark Regulars into the sort of competitiveness that it can be. His main ability is his top auto, which is when he's put into the Soul from the effect or cost, you draw a card, count +1. So it goes in, count +1, draw a card. From the hand, if you have 2 or more cards with the Darkness ability in your Soul, he's a grade 3 in terms, so he's a drop for stride. Very good. And his other ability, which you don't use very often, but it's there, is Counterblast 1, choose a card from your hand, discard it. If the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, you soul charge 1. Then if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, you put them into your hand from your soul. So you can get him out of your soul to then stride next turn or whatever. Actual drop for strides, we do run 2 copies of Succubus of Pure Love, mainly so we can make sure we have the right Sharat to ride at grade 3. And then finally, we're using a Kraziel as our perfect guards. Not very good if you go against Deleters or Dust, because you can only guard units with the Darkness ability. But instead of discarding a card, you put a card from your hand into your soul. So, very good. And then GB2 Darkness, Counterblast 1, choose. So from the drop zone, you can Counterblast 1 and either bind another copy of itself from your drop zone or your soul, and you get to put it back into your hand.
Arca did it better.
Hashtag shame Jack.
Hashtag shame Jack. On to the grade 2s. We're running 12 grade 2s. First one is 4 copies of Demonted Executioner. The first ability is Counterblast 1, Darkness, plus 2k if you have 6 or more cards in soul, and plus 3, and an extra plus 3 if you have 10 or more. So it's plus 5k if you have 10 cards in soul. It's fine, but you mainly use him for the, when placed on rearguard, look at top 7 cards and put up to 1 card with the Darkness ability from among them into your soul, and shuffle your deck. It's deck thinning is deck winning, as they say. In a similar vein, we have 4 copies of Succubus of Jealousy. Always, the Succubus artwork is always some of the nicest. When she's placed on rearguard circle, like these both work only on rearguard, which is a shame. If you have a Vanguard with the Darkness ability, which you will, you may look at top 5 cards of your deck and choose up to 2 grade 1 or greater with the Darkness ability and put them into your soul. And then GB1 Darkness plus 2k, so she's an 11k attacker. Then finally,
More cats?
kind of, I mean, he's got bat ears, so, I mean, bats are just basically flying cats, right?
Yay! Not even close.
No.
Yeah,
You might be
no,
stretching a bit there, Merlin.
maybe a bit. But, you know how 8k Silent Toms were really good? And then 14k Silent Toms were really good? And then 19k free Silent Toms.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They're apparently really, really good. Especially when boosted by this guy and you're hitting like 35, like 30, 40, 50,000. That's why this is why we run all the stands. So we can do stuff like, because 99% of the time, getting a crit is not as good as standing 2 cards you can't actually grade 3s. 1 copy of Glenzen Vampire. This could be pretty much anything. I think Glenzen's the most consistent in terms of like the power. Like I'm running a more sort of consistent, this is how I want to win and I want to do it all the time, as opposed to a toolbox deck that you can really do, because obviously everything's really high quality soul charge now. So Darkness, so his Vanguard ability, GB1 Darkness. If the number of cards in your soul is 6 or more, you may choose a card with the Darkness ability from your hand or rearguard and put it into your soul. If you do, draw a card, and if the number of cards in your soul is 15 or more, countercharge 1 and retire one of your opponent's rearguards. You don't want to ride him, but you know, it's there. His other ability is Counterblast 1 when he's placed on Vanguard or rearguard.
Those 2.
To look at 5 cards from the top of your deck. Take search for up to 5 cards with the Darkness ability from among them, put them into your soul, and then for each card put into the soul this way, he gets plus 1,000 till the end of turn.
I haven't played it, you can do that. Hey Jack, you've got 9 new Blaster Blades now.
What?
You've got 9 of the new Blaster Blades.
That's true, I do.
Next, 2 copies of One Who Scatters Sin Sharat. This is the GB11 Sharat. When you do unit strides him, soul charge, you may soul charge 2. If you have Darkness, if you have 4 or more Darkness cards, your opponent chooses one of his or her rearguards and retires it. It's fine. But his rearguard, he has a rearguard ability, which is GB2 Darkness, and he's a 16k Silent Tom. More guard restrict. That's kind of how we win games. And finally, the boss. 4 copies of One Who Proceeds Towards Daybreak Sharat, and nobody knows what's going on with that artwork.
I mean, he's a vampire, but see, if he's going towards daybreak, wouldn't he die?
I don't know. But yeah, so this guy kind of...
It's like Twilight, it just sparkles.
I mean, he has butterflies. So, but yeah, when you stride him...
Are they made of souls, or blood, or just...
Why not both?
If you get the SS4, you're fully played.
Bloody souls. We can do
Yeah. Yeah, so when you stride him, you may soul charge 2. If you do, choose a card with the darkness ability from your soul, put it into your hand, then choose up to 1 card from your hand and put it into your soul. You don't have to put anything from your hand into soul, but you know, things you can do, for example, is soul charge 2, put a Jaeger into soul, counterblast 1, draw a card, pull it out, and then put it back into the soul to draw another card. Kind of, or you can just, you know, grab your Balefuls and your Plunderers and all that. Or use that ability to get that back out, and so you can just kind of do more loops. And then the darkness ability, at the end of the turn, you can choose up to 1 of your grade 1 or grade 2 rear guards and put it into your soul. And at the end of your turn, and that's at the end of turn, and if you do, your opponent chooses 1 of his or her rear guards, retires it, and if the number of cards in your soul is 8 or more, you countercharge 1. So the countercharge engine in this deck is absolutely insane, which is why I have been known to run a Steel Vampire instead of the Glenzen. Castile is a good card that you can use, but I mean, I prefer to run a more toolboxy variant to sing. So for the G zone, we'll start with the G Guardians. I'm running 5 in total. Got 2 copies of accumulated attachment, Druj Nasu. He's very nice too. No one was paying attention. Continuous. Guardian Circle. The number of cards in your soul is 8 or more. She gets plus 10k shield. And her auto, when placed on Guardian Circle, choose up to 1 grade 1 or greater rear guards with the darkness ability, and you may put it into your soul. If you do, draw a card. What you can do is, if one of your rear guards is being attacked, you can G-guard and put the unit that's being attacked into the soul, and you get to save it. I think there are currently no cards that can negatively impact your soul.
Did you get the...
So, 2 of those because she's awesome. Next up, our probably best first G-guard if we're striding second is I grab back Malat. When she's placed on Guardian Circle, soul charge 2, and she gets plus 5k if you have 6 or more in soul. Very, very good. Next, 1 copy of Cryptid Norliege Sabnek. This guy's really good against decks like Nova Grappler and other like Aquaforce. Lots of small attacks, because what he does is you counterblast 1. When he's placed on the Guardian Circle during battle, your opponent's Vanguard attack. If the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, he gets plus 5,000 shield, and until the end of turn, your Vanguard gets plus 5,000 power. So he's basically trigger. And then finally, probably would be Vincent if I had one, but I'm running 1 copy of Nighttime Gentleman Saint Germain, which is, if you have 10 or more cards in soul, he gets plus 10,000 shield, and if you have 15 or more cards in soul, all of your units, you can give all of your units resist.
He is a true gentleman.
He's a true gentleman. He protects only the beautiful little lady at the back.
Have you seen the art? It's beautiful.
Or, you know, I mean, he protects the crazy vampire dude.
Hashtag not safe for work.
I mean, he's a nighttime gentleman, so I don't know what that means.
He's a gentleman at night time, it's obvious. God.
Are you saying he's a gentleman of the night?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I was going to say Jimmy's an asshole during the day.
As long as you accept that.
That's probably why. That might be why Charlotte's proceeding towards daybreak.
It's like, I want none of this.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm at the job now. Yeah. No.
Yeah. So for the actual strides, we're running Sabriz. Not very useful in this deck. If I had a dust, I'd probably swap this guy out because I don't have any GB1s.
I think you just keep it in there for the...
For now. Plus, we need to prove the memes wrong, guys. Sabriz, obviously, counterblast 2, discard a card. If you have a grade 3 Vanguard, you haven't got any cards face up in your G zone, and your opponent's Vanguard is grade 2 and they didn't place anything, you can stride him. It's still good if your opponent tries to grade stall you, but I don't know why they would in premium when now the imaginary gifts are going to be a thing. So he's going to come out. He probably will come out Even if Dust isn't very good now, he's still better than Sabreeze. The other first stride is Sorrowful Slice Lugyrus. This is the first stride if your opponent doesn't have any rear guards to retire.
One strike and a medal.
You counterblast one, choose a face down card in your D zone and turn it face up. It will always be Sabreeze because that's the only way. And Soul Charge 3. For each different grade among them, you choose one of your rear guards and it gets plus 5,000. And if the card with the Darkness ability was Soul Charge by the spec, you choose up to one grade 3 card from your hand.
One strike and just have a little bit of on the bank.
Go away.
Sorry.
One of him.
It's a plus 15,000 power to your field, maybe.
Yes, but
It's just power boost.
still saving max it better.
Yeah, true.
It's out.
We are running one copy of one Steeped in Sin Sharat. We're running the SGR because
It's a full shot.
Why not?
why not? GB2 Darkness. Counterblast 1. When this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, put all of your rear guards into Soul. It's a bit of a number with all the stands, but
Oh yeah.
I reckon that this is going to become a bit better in Premium. If you have 10 or more cards in Soul, it retires all of your opponent's rear guards. We use this to get around like Aqua Force and all the resist units and stuff. Not very often, but it happens. And if you have 15 or more cards in Soul, your opponent can't call cards with the Sentinel ability from their hand to the Guardian Circle. If we know anything about Premium, Sentinel Guard restricting is very good. We also run one copy of New Velvet. No, we don't.
That's not for you.
It is not. Next, not fallen out of favour recently, but 2 copies of Gilderay. I like the fact that, especially later when we replace most of the triggers with the 10k crits from B, we will probably being able to have a crit, have a 36,000 or 37 depending on how things go. Crit and glory can end games very quickly. And that's kind of the point. There are some times where you just need to hit someone with a crit because you need to be a slave. A lot of people, however, are just going for the 4 copies, but I run 2 copies of Blade of Mouse.
No, he did it!
This just has a bit more return.
Mine has a dent in, if you can see at the bottom corner. There you go. From my dog being an arsehole. GB2 Darkness. Counterblast 1, choose a face down card with the same card name as this unit, and use it and turn it face up. When he attacks, it's not at the end of the battle, which is very good because it means you can attack with no cards in your soul, with no cards in your deck. You choose up to 2 cards from your hand, put them into your soul, and if the number of cards in your soul is 10 or more, return all grade 0s from your rear guard and soul to your deck, shuffle your deck, choose 2 of your units, they get plus 5,000 power. At the end of the battle, restand this unit, it gets drive -2. That's what you get, Jack.
Karma has attacked Jack.
Karma has attacked.
A critical trigger.
No
Shame Jack.
No heals. Damage trigger check, Jack? I didn't think so. So, fun fact, Blade of Mouse is a pun because the German word for bat, which if you notice he's got like Batman symbols all over, is Fledermaus. So they've literally said Blade is literally a blade bat, which I guess makes sense because he's a vampire, but whatever.
Actually, bats are nice.
Fledermaus. But they also eat lots of stuff, so I mean.
Because bats are in the rodent family.
And then this broken piece of crud. 4 copies of One Who Hunts Souls Balaam. Counterblast 1. Notice everything's Counterblast 1 these days.
Yep.
Choose a face down card with the same name as this unit and turn it face up. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards.
This is tasty.
This unit gets the power of that unit and drive +1. Then you retire the unit, and then for each face-up card in your D zone, you may soul charge 2. So you can, if you've got 1 card in your soul, you can soul charge 2. Or you might not. If you've got 2 cards in your face-up cards in your D zone, you can go like soul charge 2 and then soul charge 2 again, or you could go soul charge 2 and I don't want to soul charge 2 anymore. Stops you from decking out with all the quad drives and stuff. And very good card already. And then his GB3 is a darkness ability. If you have 13 cards in your soul, your opponent can't call grade 1s to the Guardian Circle from their hand. For everyone, it's a continuous ability. This is how you end up with like this is how darkness has managed to kind of keep its place as a, because we can consistently get like two silent time effects. These can't be blocked with zero. These can only be blocked with zeros and ones. These can only block with zeros and ones. This can only be blocked with zeros and zeros. Like, you take someone's 12 card hand and they can't guard with 10 of it, and then suddenly you kill them with all the stand triggers, just going bop 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 bop.
There's a reason stand triggers aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Sorry, what? Reason?
Yeah, because 19k silent toms that can't be guarded with zeros or ones, but then restand and attack again. So that's why basically, we're probably keeping stand. Like,
is this your super happy combo?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess technically my super kill combo is, and then the soul's like that. So yeah, that's the deck. Whether or not we'll be able to see a premium fight against, we need to. Shame Jack. Shame Jack.
Remember, guys, hashtag Shame Jack.
Hashtag Shame Jack. You couldn't see that, but he flipped me off for suggesting that we have a game.
And remember, guys, my name is John Risinger, and welcome to On the Spot.
Soul Saver.
I mean, sure, why not? Well, that's that. We'll see. Who knows whether or not we'll be able to get a game in? We don't have the right tripod. But for now, that is it. I am hopefully going to be back more often.
Yes.
Hopefully, I'll be able to get the Dimension Police stuff, because that actually looks kind of cool. And I'll probably also be able to do some Dimensional Robo Premium-y stuff. If I'm the only person who does premium for this channel, who knows?
Great neck,
I'm a cheapskate. Like,
Thanks for watching, and remember,
I'm not.
G-BT14 was trash.
Blast the blade.
Stop trying to have the last word.
Bye.